Welcome to Bar TV Sports broadcast of the Illawarra Shield Grand Final of the Illawarra Hardware Man Cup. It is the Windang Sharks, the minor premiers, taking on the Avondale Greyhounds. What an afternoon we've already had. We've already had two grand finals in the under-18s. Bateman's Bay winning that 30 points to 20 in the women's under-18s grand final, and the previous game, Corrimal Cougars defeated Berkeley Eagles 24 points to 20 in the Women's Opens Inspirations Paint grand final. And what an afternoon we have. These two clubs are definitely stalwarts to this third grade competition, the Illawarra Shield. I'm your chief caller, Ruben Campbell. Alongside me is my co-caller, Johnny Pett. And Johnny, how will both these teams line up for this afternoon's fixture?
Yeah, thanks for today, Ruben. It's a true second division grand final here today at Collegiate Sporting Complex. Avondale looking to go back-to-back, and the Windang Sharks, they went back-to-back in season 07 and 08. Windang, they've been the benchmark of the 2017 Shield competition. And lining up for today's side, for the coaches for Windang is Scott Buckley and Scotty Morris. Number 1 is Jared Pepper. Number 2, Kevin Spicer. Number 3, Daniel Tuff. Number 4, Joel Hansen. 5, Nathan McKinnon. Number 6 is Nathan Gallastegui. Number 7, Colin Spicer. Number 8, James Clark. 9, Ryan Hodgson. 10, Blake Colgan. 11, Jake Flew. 12 is Sean Balch. Number 13 is Phil Buckley, and Phil will skip of the side. And on the bench, we've got Dane Corrin, Matt Sherrick, Jack Hockey, Bevan Hodgson, Nick Nicataris, Nathan Perks, Mitchell Velhouse. Number 23 is Alex Watson, 25 is Daniel Sinclair. And for the Avondale Greyhounds, coached by Daniel Kent, we have Craig Tamani at fullback. Number 2 is David Sheridan. Number 3, Adam Blackley. 4, Adam Brody. Number 5 is James Selesky. Number 6 is Elwyn Roberts. Number 7, Jared DeBono. 8 is Jackson Simmons. Number 9, Brad Fisher. Number 24 is Ryan Chalker, and Ryan will skipper the Avondale side. Number 20 is Matt Duncan. 12, Ben Ford. 13, Luke Gilmore. And on the bench for Avondale is Josh Ford, Josh Birkin, Dale Jackson, Matthew Bates, Matthew Thompson, and Jay Masuli. And we just had the national anthem performed here at Collegiate Sporting Complex. And Ruben, it is a great crowd here for both second division sides, the Avondale Greyhounds and the Windang Sharks. We see a lot of supporters wearing their team jerseys here, and I'm sure we're going to get a very vocal crowd for this grand final.
Oh, for sure. This should be a great game of football. The Windang Sharks have only lost one game during the regular season. Finished on top of the ladder. The Avondale Greyhounds, they won in Golden Point last week against the West Suburbs Devils, 29 points to 28. We're underway. Let's get this party started. And here come the Avondale Greyhounds. And it's with the number 8, Jackson Simmons, the skipper. He'll take it forward towards the 20-metre line. Here's another hit up here from Ryan Chalker. Plays it this time. Nice pull away to Benjamin Ford. The dummy half is Brad Fisher. Gives it away this time. And they're at the 40-metre line. That's Luke Gilmore in jumper 13. Inside the 40 with the kick. Odges DeBono. And kicks it straight down the throat of the fullback, Jared Pepper. Featured in 12 games this season. 7 tries next to his name. Kevin Spicer out of dummy half. Nice dynamic winger. He'll play it this time. Good strong run there from James Clark for the Sharks. He'll play it this time. The 5'8", Gallastegui back on the inside. And that's a good tackle there. Upended from the number 4, Adam Brody from the Greyhounds, as Blake Colgan is over the halfway line. Fifth and last tackle, Ryan Hodgson out of acting half. Gallastegui with the kick, the 5'8", with his left foot. Kicking it down to the wing of David Sheridan. Goes centre field this time towards the 30-metre line. Nathan Gallastegui getting himself heavily involved with a couple of kicks, nice passes, and a good tackle there as well. The number 9, Fisher, at dummy half, gives it away to the front rower for the Greyhounds. Here's a big, strong run there from Matty Duncan in jumper number 20. He's a big man. Ball not fighting hand, and it'll have to be cleaned up from the Greyhounds fullback. Tamanui, who'll play this time to Fisher. Short pass away to the 24, Ryan Shortcut. Another big front rower. Wearing jumper number 24. Last tackle here. Big high spiralling kick from Odgers DeBono. It bounces in the favour of the Greyhounds. Here comes Craig Tamanui. Puts a nice little grubber kick in, and it ends up being cleaned up there by Jared Pepper. Not a bad kick there from Odgers DeBono. And Craig Tamanui, the former Port Kembla Black, almost coming up with a try off his own kick. Interesting start here for both teams.
Good start from both teams, Ruben. Both sets of 6 they've had each other. They've both completed and got to their kicks. The Windang side, they've built season 2017 purely around discipline. In previous seasons, it's been their Achilles heel, a little bit of ill discipline. But under the coaching of Scott Buckley this year, they've really turned it around. They've been the form team of 2017. They played West and beat West and come straight through to the grand final. Avondale had to do it tough last week, beating West in extra time by an Elwyn Roberts field goal. So I think the way to get round for Avondale to get round this Windang team is to go wide. They've been relentless through the middle this season, Windang. So Avondale are going to have to complete their sets and try and go round the Windang pack today. As we see, Blackley just making good metres on the short side there for Avondale. There's Fisher in at dummy half. Fisher's been in the Avondale system for a few seasons. He was the premiership winning dummy half last year. And the big Windang forwards are going to have to watch him round the ruck. There's DeBono onto his back rower. Benny Ford. Ben Ford's been dangerous here on that right-hand fringe for Avondale this season. Fisher onto DeBono. DeBono again testing his luck going to the air. And we see a great take by Elwyn Roberts. And Roberts has flicked it out the back. And Ruben, it seems to be the plan for Avondale to go to the air against Windang.
It sure is. There's a bit of a swirling breeze around, changing direction a fair bit already. It was coming from the south now. It seems like it's coming from the west a little bit. It's that man, Jared Odgers DeBono, the halfback, with the nice spiralling kick in the air. And they come with a nice run here through Simmons. They're on the attack here. Blake Colgan here for the Sharks. Goes out to Hockey. And a bit of pain here for one of the Sharks players on the ground as they work it away with James Clark, another big front rower. Time might be called off here by referee Tyron Jordan. But they kept going down the short side. They continued to pepper it with the 16, Jack Hockey, with his second hit up, and the ball ends up in the hands of the Greyhounds. And it's with the number 3, Adam Blackley. Time has been called off by Tyron Jordan, as he is the referee today, and the 2 touch judges are Mitchell Bonney and Andrew Rioli. Andrew Rioli achieved 400 first grade games as a referee this season. Quite an amazing feat. And I'm sure that's going to be tough to chase down that record of Andrew Rioli when it comes to refereeing first grade. Has certainly earned the right to be the touch judge for this Illawarra Shield Grand Final, as we are seeing the Windang Sharks player being attended to on the 40-metre line. Windang finished at first position on 28 competition points. They only had the 1 loss this year. West finished at second on 22 competition points. Avondale were 4 points behind them at third. Norths finished at 4th position at 12, and Mount Kembla just missed out on a top 4 spot on a semi-finals berth, finishing last with only just the 2 wins this season, 10 competition points. These 2 teams have met on 3 occasions so far this season. In round 2, Windang came up winners 36 points to 10 over Avondale. In round 7, Windang would run out winners once more 24 to 13. And in round 9, Windang only just won by 2 points over Avondale, 20 points to 18. So it's the first time they've met each other since round 9, both these sides. Windang only had the one semi-final before coming into this, which was the major semi-final, winning against West 24-22 at Robins Eames Park in Corrimal. Avondale, they had a good win against Norths in the first semi-final, 18-8, and then they won in Golden Point last week against West 29-28. It was one hell of a game of football as they go through the fullback. Craig Tamanui played for the Port Kembla Blacks last year in reserve grade, a bit of first grade as well, but finds himself playing for Avondale in the Illawarra Shield competition. Fisher awaits out of acting half. It goes with the lock forward, Luke Gilmore. Just 15 metres out from the Sharks line. Here come the Greyhounds. They're on the attack. Nice little grubber kick there from Odgers to Bono. Bit of work to do for the fullback, but it goes dead. Not the result that they were looking for there, as the Sharks will come away with a 20-metre restart. As the Greyhounds would have been disappointed that kick went dead, as they have to defend an extra tackle on this set of 6.
The idea was right there from De Bono, just to put that little cheeky grubber through behind the line and try and trap Windang in the in-goal line. But we've seen here in the last few weeks, it is a hard track here at Collegiate Sporting Centre. The dead balls are running quite fast. So Windang with a 7 tackle set to bring it out, and they're already approaching the 40-metre line. And I think the go-to people today, Ruben, to look for Windang is going to be Gallistegui. He's been enormous this season playing in the halves, and they've got a great front row pairing of James Clark and Blake Colgan, that'll just go all day up the middle. As we see Windang play to the left, we've got the centre, Daniel Tobe, go to the line, and he finds the number 9 inside of him, just shrugs off, back onto Gallistegui. Gallistegui's got, and he's in the corner. Windang Sharks, they'll score early in the grand final through Nathan Gallistegui. And a good little throwing around the ball there from Windang, producing in a 4-pointer, Ruben.
Yeah, what a great play there for the Windang Sharks. It all started with Nathan Gallistegui. Got the outside pass away to his winger. A couple of nice interchanges of passing. Changed the direction a bit and ended up in the hands of Gallistegui once more, who scores his second try for the season and opens the scoring here for the Windang Sharks. We've just got under 28 minutes left in this first half, as the referee has called over one of the Greyhounds players.
Clearly gone.
Yeah, has a rest, Mike. Does it work?
No, thanks,
okay. Referee Tyron Jordan just giving a talk to the skipper for the Greyhounds. And I think that's Ryan Chalker as well, the 24. Great try there from Nathan Gallistegui. He played for the Lake South Gorillas down the Group 7 competition last year. He was a try-scoring machine down there in that competition, playing on the wing, but moved to play for the Windang Sharks, so he got a chance to play at 5'8". This is the number 4, Joel Hansen, with the conversion attempt. 8 tries, 57 goals, and 146 points this season, the highest point scorer in the Illawarra Shield. From the sideline, low driving kick to the left, but doesn't go between the uprights as planned. And the Sharks have a healthy lead of 4 points to 0. A great try for Nathan Gallistegui, as the Sharks lead 4 points to 0. Just over 27 minutes left of the first half. And the Windang Sharks will get the ball back after a terrific set of 6, leading to that try. As I mentioned, there's actually quite a number of former Group 7 players in this game today. For the Avondale Greyhounds, Elwyn Roberts and Craig Tamanui both played for the Port Kembla Blacks in the Group 7 competition last year, a bit of reserve grade and first grade. Find themselves into the fold of the Illawarra Shield competition. And it'll be Colin Spice, it'll be Odgers to Bono with a nice high kick for the kick-off. The 24, Ryan Chalker, getting himself heavily involved in defence. Ends up in the hands of Colin Spice to the halfback. Being driven back, and he'll play it to Ryan Hodson out of acting half. Gallistegui back on the inside to Bevan Hodgson, who's on the field. His brother Ryan out of acting half, gives the ball away to the number 8, James Clark, and a penalty all inside the 10. And this is a big defensive set coming up here for the Greyhounds, you'd sense. As the Sharks, an unusual kick towards the touchline. Let's see what they can produce in this set of 6.
Wasn't the best touch finder for Windang from Ryan Hodgson, but they're certainly in great field position here, 30 metres out from the Avondale line. There's their front rower, Blake Colgan. So Windang, they'll try to pepper Avondale straight through the middle here, through their big forwards who've been relentless this season. There's Windang. And an attempted intercept from Avondale, resulting in 6 to go. As Windang, they'll get 6 more tackles, 25 metres out. Joel Hansen out from dummy half. He's picked off by the 2 Avondale markers. That's Jack Hockey taking one up off the ruck over to the open side. So just inside 20 metres, Windang on the attack. James Clark straight through the middle. He's met solidly in defence from Ryan Chalker. So options left to right here for Windang, centre of the paddock. They're gone left through Gallastegui. Gallastegui on to Pepper. Pepper a little bit of a dance at the line, but he's not fooling the Avondale defence. So Windang 9 metres out. Gallastegui at dummy half. There's Bevan Hodgson, that's his first hit up for today. Came on for the injured Sean Balch. And another penalty from referee Tyron Jordan. So Avondale, 2 early penalties here, Ruben. They're going to find it hard today to beat an informed Windang team, and giving away penalties like that, they're not giving their chances anything here, as we see Windang on the attack. Colgan just brought up short. Hodgson at dummy half, centre of the paddock. He's looking left to right. And a let off from Avondale there, as Windang just fumbling the ball. Blake Colgan just couldn't get to his feet properly and play that ball, Ruben. So Avondale, on the back end of giving away 2 penalties, they've been let off.
That's a massive let off there for the Greyhounds defence. They were definitely being asked to a lot of questions in their defence, as Blake Colgan seems to pick up an injury from that knock-on. And the Greyhounds certainly need to come up with pretty good defence in order to propel this Windang side. We know that they can score plenty of points. They are the minor premiers for a reason. They've scored well over 400 points this season in the competition. They've only had just the one major semi-final coming into this game. They had a good victory against West, 24 points to 22 at Robins Ames Park at Corrimal. It was a pretty close game of football. And the Sharks are here today trying to chase some silverware for the first time since 2008 in this competition. As it goes with the number 12 for the Avondale Greyhounds, Benjamin Ford. Brad Fisher awaits out of acting half. He's got options on both sides. He'll go to the right through Luke Gilmore. Nice tackle there from Gallascu, as well as the 17, Bevan Hodgson. They go to the left. Here's Chalk up. Nice little pass there from Odgers to Bono. He's got himself heavily involved in this game so far. Good passing game, good kicking game as well. Here's his other half, Elwyn Roberts. Can't get the pass away. He'll just change direction here. He'll go up the middle of the park. Short ball away to the big man, Alexander Wasson, who's actually, in fact, it's Matthew Thompson on the field. De Bono. Nice spiralling kick. This is certainly going to test out the winger for the Sharks. Didn't get a clean catch on that one, the number 5, Nathan McCannon, and ends up with the hands of Jared Pepper. Daniel Tuff taking forward, playing his 13th game for the season. He's got 14 tries in the space of 12 games. Joel Hansen, the goal kicker, out of dummy half. Nice little run towards the middle of the park. Here's the halfback, Colin Spicer. Colin Spicer continuing his run, but unfortunately he's come up with a mistake. And the Avondale Greyhounds, they've managed to break the momentum of the Sharks' attack. Sharks haven't been as free-flowing as what they were in the opening 5 minutes of the game. Few mistakes creeping into their play. And the Greyhounds have found pretty good field territory here. 50 metres out from the Sharks line.
Front row is born.
And
Second row's arms in now.
Johnny, who do you think would be the key players here in the Greyhounds attack to maybe spark something in order to get them to get back to the deadlock once more.
I think the two halves are going to have to play a key role today for Avondale to overcome Windang. As we see a mistake there from the Avondale player in Adam Blackley. They're going to have to hold this ball, Ruben, and get down into Windang territory. The two halves are going to have to play a bit more direct, I think, to Bono and Roberts. I'd really like to see Roberts go to the line and look for some of his outside backs into some holes. He tends to play a little bit sideways, as we see earlier on that left-hand side shift play. If he just plays a little bit more direct, I think he'll give his centres and back rows a little bit more room to move and a few more options. As we see Windang approaching the halfway line, and a nice front-on shot there from Jay Masuli. Masuli, he was one of the impact players off the bench in last year's grand final win for Avondale, so I dare say Avondale will be looking to him for another big impact off the bench. He's got a bit of size about him, so he'll be very dangerous up through the middle and close to the try line. As we see another big contact there from Masuli. There's Spicer just stepping off his right. He's wrapped up 20 metres out on the last tackle. Galistegi on the left. Ball's gone to him. He's gone high. And a good take and a flick out the back from Windang. Galistegi onto the foot again, into the in goal. And it's just run over the dead ball line, Ruben. So Windang, they're not afraid to throw this ball around, attacking the Avondale try line.
Yeah, what about that dive there from Galistegi to try and keep the ball back in the field of play? It was a nice little kick. It was just a bit heavy. And as the Greyhounds start with the number 3, Daniel Tuff. No, in fact, Adam Blackley. Nice run here from Luke Gilmore for the Greyhounds. Out of acting half is Fisher. Oh, huge run there from Adam Brody. Nice tackle there from the number 8, James Clark, for the Sharks. Fisher out of acting half. Goes to DeBono. Short ball away to the big man. That is Matthew Thompson, who's just come onto the park. Fisher. And not much doing there out of acting half. Odges DeBono is a dummy half. He'll go to the left where his halves partner is, Roberts. Back on the inside to Adam Brody. Fisher, last tackle. Trying to search where his halfback was to go for another high spiralling kick. And that ball has gone dead. Well, it's in fact the number 5, Nathan McKinnon, who takes it in the in goal on the full. Probably going a bit too far, that kick for his liking. He was trying to find Jared Odges DeBono on that attacking set of 6, but couldn't find him, so he had to kick it himself. Hodson out of acting half gives it off to the number 4, Joel Hansen. As Joel Hansen will play it this time. Goes to the fullback, Jared Pepper. Pepper plays it. Goes to Galistegi. Galistegi, not much doing there. He'll just take the hit up. Hit by the number 12, Benjamin Ford, who's been heavily involved in defence early on in this game. As it goes to Bevan Hodson. He'll play to his brother Ryan. Goes out to the halfback. It's Colin Spicer, who loses the ball. Not much doing there for the Sharks. And the Greyhounds have been pretty good in defence here. They've forced a couple of mistakes. They've managed to make the Sharks play a style of football that's they're not used to, making them feel uncomfortable in attack. As it's quite a low-scoring affair so far, just the 1 try in this game. Just under 18 minutes left of the first half. Anyone's game. Sharks with just a healthy 4-0 lead. As Elwyn Roberts will feed the scrum. Goes out the back to Craig Tamanui. Johnny, it's been strange from the Sharks over the last 10 minutes because they haven't been that great in attack. They've had a couple of mistakes, and compared to what they were doing early on in the first half with that try to Galistegi, and then a couple of nice dummy half runs from guys like Hodson and Philip Buckley as well. So what do you think the Sharks need to do in order to get back to their nice attacking ways?
Just need to go back to simple football, what they were doing in the first 10 minutes of the game. They just seem to just be trying to push that extra pass or a little bit trying too hard. They have got this Avondale side all over the paddock throughout season 2017. I just think they need to stick to what they know best and going forward and playing percentage football. As we see a good take from the Windang winger, he'll bring it back out, just wrapped up just shy of the 10-metre line. So Windang back on the attack here in their own area. Avondale really need to have a big defensive set here and trap Windang in their own area, or try and come up with another Windang mistake through good defence, as we see Windang just approaching the 30-metre line. There's Joel Hansen on the right. Hansen's been super busy early as he's busted through the first tackle, looking to get through the second, but the 23 of Matthew Thompson brings him down. Avondale onto the open side through Nick Nikitaris, who's on the field. As we see, this unlimited interchange probably will benefit more Avondale than Windang, with Avondale being the bigger side, as Gallastegui just puts it on the boot. Pretty poor end of the set there from Windang through a Gallastegui kick. A kicking game has been a feature this season, and it just seems to be a little bit off at the moment, Ruben.
Yeah, so fifth tackle options haven't been great over the last 5 minutes, as we've got a problem here for one of the Sharks players, the 17 in fact, Bevan Hodson. He hasn't actually got off of the ground yet. Looks like he's clutching at a lower leg injury. The Avondale Greyhounds, in fact, won the premiership last year. They are the defending premiers for a reason. They had a golden era, the Greyhounds, between 98 and 2003, when they won 5 Illawarra Shield titles in a row. Windang have also been quite a stalwart in this competition. They won back-to-back premierships in 2007 and 2008. And we saw some great footage over at Wynn Stadium with the two captains, Philip Buckley from Windang and Ryan Chalker, got their hands on the trophy earlier this week, the Illawarra Shield. It's great to see both these teams in this grand final, who have been a part of this competition for such a long time. They keep this competition going, this Illawarra Shield. As we're waiting on the player to get attended, we've got 15 minutes left. Quite a nice crowd building up here today. It's a packed house here at Collegians, as this is the last of the free grand finals today. The first grand final, we had 2 Inspiration Paint Women's League's grand finals. We had the first game under 18s, where Batemans Bay came out 30 points to 20 with a nice victory over the Berkeley Sports Eagles. And in the second game, the Coral-Magooga Cougars, they were just too good for the Berkeley Sports Eagles, winning that game 24 points to 0. That was in the Opens competition, as the number 17 Hodson is getting helped off the field. And he's been good so far, hasn't he, Johnny Pett? Because he's provided plenty of impact off the bench, and it's a shame that his afternoon has ended in this fashion. But what other interchange players for the Sharks do you think will provide an impact?
Well, Hodgson come onto the field for the injured Sean Bouch, with Bouch injured early in the game, and Hodgson came onto the field, and now he's been taken off injured. So Nathan Perks, he'll probably come into the side as well, with Daniel Sinclair onto the field. As Coach Scotty Buckley, he's going to have to really look to his bench players to step up, as 2 early injuries. I hope they're not too serious injuries. They may be game-ending injuries by the looks of us, with both players carried off with the trainers. As we get back to the action, Ruben, and Windang have come up with the ball in Avondale territory and on the attack once again. As Windang, they seem to be throwing a lot down to Avondale, but just can't execute that last play and come up with another 4-pointer. Avondale just seem to be scraping through and just stopping them from troubling the score again. as Avondale's last year's premiers. At half-time in last year's game against Western Suburbs, Avondale went into the dressing sheds. I think it was about 22 points to 4 behind. And the Western Suburbs coach, Shane Donoghue, I'm not sure what he said to his boys, but they came out and ended up getting beat by a better Avondale side in the second half. As we see Windang with another set of 6 close to the Avondale line. There's Sherrick. He's onto the field. So Hodgson, dummy half. There's the 18 go forward, Nick Nikitaris. So Hodgson at dummy half, left to right options. He's going to go to his front rower in Clark. And Clark's going to roll over on the right-hand side and score a try. So James Clark, just too big, too strong there, Ruben, over the top of the Avondale defence. And it was only time coming for that try. Windang have peppered the Avondale line, just been without luck crossing the line, and we see their big front rower in James Clark, just too big, too strong there.
Yeah, it's probably one of the better set of 6 they've had in this first half. They started off really well with a try to Galascu. They lost their way a little bit with a couple of knock-ons and coming up with mistakes halfway through their sets of 6. But they managed to complete that set of 6 this time, kept it simple, and it ends up with James Clark getting his 5th try for the season. The Sharks have got a bit of momentum in this game. They're controlling the game, you would sense, as Joel Hansen has a much easier conversion attempt this time, adjacent to the uprights, looking to slot his 58th goal for the season. The Sharks are up 8 points to 0. Just under 13 minutes left of this first half. Both teams play 35 minutes each way in the Shield. Joel Hansen looking straight into the sun for the conversion attempt. The Avondale Greyhounds, they were doing well to propel the Shark side, but it was all it had to do was a James Clark run towards the try line. He fended off a couple of defenders, and he came up with the chocolates, and the Sharks are up 10 points to 0. With just over 12 minutes left in this first half. The Avondale Greyhounds getting through their interchanges. Their skipper, Jackson Simmons, is back onto the park. Also Ryan Chalker. As the Greyhounds will restart with a kickoff. I sense that it'll be a nice high-rising kickoff. Bit of a shallow kickoff too. And it's well taken by the halfback, Colin Spicer. Spicer will play it. Here's a nice little dummy half run for the Sharks. Hodgson out of acting half. Goes to the number 8, James Clark, the try scorer. Hodgson gives it away to Philip Buckley on the halfway line. Hodgson out of acting half. Goes to the right this time, where Spicer is. Puts a nice little low driving kick. Not a bad set of 6 after points, as they're looking to cramp Tamanui deep into his corner. And that's great defence there from the Sharks. Good chase off the kick. Joel Hansen there, as well as the halfback Colin Spicer, who came up with that nice kick. Adam Blackley, 15 metres out from his own line. The number 12, Benjamin Ford, who's been out there for the entire first half so far. Does play a lot of minutes each week as the number 4, Adam Brody. Met in a strong tackle there from Blake Colgan. Fisher out of acting half. Goes to Gilmore.
Let's tackle together, Neil!
Nice little darting run up the middle of the park.
Play on, play on.
As the winger, Sheridan, awaits out a dummy half. It's the last tackle. Nice kick away from the halfback, Odgers DeBono. And awkward collision there from the number 5, McKinnon, and his fullback, Jared Pepper. But McKinnon just got there in the nick of time. The communication from the fullback and the winger nearly cost them there. Could have come up with a mistake, and the Greyhounds maybe could have come up with good field position. But it is the Sharks who have a strong lead and a good set of 6 up their sleeve here, looking to extend their lead as Joel Hansen. He's been good for the Sharks, one of their best players so far in this game. The number 8, James Clark, the try scorer. Hodgson out of dummy half, goes to Galascu, kicks early once more. They kicked early on the previous set of 6 and ends up in the hands of the 15, Matthew Chirac. Well, in fact, it's Josh Ford for Greyhounds. Tamanui out of acting half, goes down the short side. Nice little dummy half run. He's met by the winger for the Sharks, McKinnon. The number 4 now, Adam Brody. Fisher awaits out of acting half. Short ball away this time to the lock forward. Gilmore gets it out the back this time to the number 3. That's a good strong run from Adam Blakely. Will they pounce on this run here? Yes, they will. Goes to Elwyn Roberts. Shapes the kick. Here goes Elwyn Roberts. Bit of a high tackle there from the halfback, Jared Hodges-Sabono. Oh, in fact, it's Colin Spicer. And they get a penalty here, the Greyhounds. They need to come up with points in this set of 6. They're down by 10 points to 0. They managed to claw themselves back from a 12-point deficit last week to come up with a victory. Can they repeat that performance this week? As we wait for the tap for Brad Fisher. Gives it off to the number 20. Nice little play there for Hodgson. Goes down the wing of where McKinnon is. And he's taken over the sideline. James Selesky, I mean. And it was an interesting little play there from Ryan Chalker. Looked like he was going to take a hit up, but they spread it to that short side. And that's unfortunate for the Greyhounds. They really needed to score a try off that set of play, didn't they, Johnny?
They sure did, Ruben. It's a good move that they've produced, and it's one that it's been seen used from Avondale this season. But on the first tackle, I don't think it was the right option to go to on that first tackle. They achieved that penalty through Roberts going to the line and Spicer just giving Roberts a bit of a high tackle. They've kicked for touch, and they're only 15 metres out from the Windang try line. They had a full set of six tackles, and on the first tackle, they've gone to that play and resulted in getting pushed over the sideline. So I'm sure that Daniel Kent, the coach, he wouldn't be too happy with that performance from Avondale there. So they're going to have to muscle up here, Avondale, and try and force an error to Windang with 7.5 minutes to go in this first half. Just seems that Windang have got a bit more momentum going forward than what Avondale do. They're 10 points up on the scoreboard. They seem to be a tight outfit in season 2017, Windang. I was speaking to Coach Scott Buckley just before the game. He was saying that a lot of these Windang players, they played a lot of junior football together. They've gone away to other clubs and they came back to Windang this season together. They thought they'd have one more year together and try and achieve a premiership, and at the moment they're looking like they will lift up this trophy at the end of the game. It's only early days. They just seem to be the better side at the moment, Windang. But as we've seen in last year's grand final, Avondale were behind and they came back with a wet sail in that second half. As we see Roberts to the line, onto his back rower in forward on that left-hand side. So on the last tackle, 30 metres out, we've got a penalty. Tyrone Jordan just giving Avondale another penalty. And I suppose Roberts will kick for touch here, and I dare say they won't try that play again, Ruben, on that short side.
Yeah, they'll look to be a bit more conservative in this set of 6. Even if they don't get a try, it's important if they can get a repeat set of 6, keep the pressure mounting on the Sharks' defence. Ryan Chalker with the first hit up. Goes to Roberts, short ball away to Simmons, the skipper. Jackson Simmons proving pretty hard to stop. 4 Sharks players to get him, bring him down. Brad Fisher awaits out of acting half. Short ball away to Chalker, the big man. He's hard to stop. Can he go over the try line? 4 Sharks players driving back. Ryan Hodgson there in the defence. He's been heavily involved. Fisher out of dummy half. Goes to Elwyn Roberts. Out the back this time to Brody. Here goes Adam Brody. He's got his winger on the outside. Can he get it there? Adam Brody ends up being tackled by the number 15, Matthew Chirac. Josh Ford out of acting half. Short ball away to Benjamin Ford. 5 metres out. The Greyhounds on the attack. They need a try here. Fisher, cut out ball away to Gilmore. And they lose the football. Great defence there from the Sharks. They put up plenty of massive hits. And they forced an error. And they get the offload away. Here's Galaskewy. And he's told him to play the ball back. Well, they might have warranted a penalty there because Galaskewy was away. He did call held, the referee Tyrone Jordan, but he said just play the ball once more. And it's with the hands of Joel Hansen over the 20-metre line. Here's a nice little run from Chirac. Ryan Hodgson. Short ball away to the number 18 who's come on the park. Nicholas Nikitaris. Goes to the 10, Blake Colgan. He's a big man. He's towards the halfway line. And Odgers DeBono brings him down. Last tackle, here's Spicer. And that's not a bad kick either from Spicer, just winding down the clock. We've got just over 4 minutes left of this first half. Windang Sharks have just got the upper hand with a 10-0 lead. And the Greyhounds work it out of their own territory with a scrum. We've got some great games coming up for you this afternoon when it comes to preliminary finals. We start off with the under-18s. Western Suburbs Red Devils, they take on Collegians Rugby League Football Club at 3:30 p.m, the under-18s preliminary final. After that at 5 o'clock, the second grade game, Dapto Canaries take on Collegians. And the big one is the first grade game. The For All Butchers taking on the Dapto Canaries, the defending premiers. It'll be interesting to see who will meet Collies in the grand final next Sunday at the Wynn Stadium in Wollongong. Should be a great game. Both teams are at full strength for that one as well, as Ryan Chalker. He's been one of the standouts so far for the Greyhounds this afternoon. Been heavily involved in attack. He's produced plenty of big hits in defence. Simmons plays it this time. Goes to DeBono. Short ball away to Gilmore. Out the back this time to number 4, Brody. Brody gives it away this time to Gilmore. Here goes Gilmore. And he's met. It's actually Benjamin Ford. He'll play it this time to Brad Fisher. This is Luke Gilmore. Dummies to Chalker. He'll take the tackle. Met by Nikitaris in the tackle. Fifth and last tackle. What do they got up their sleeves here, the Greyhounds? They go centre field to DeBono. It's another high spiralling kick. Yep, it is. This will definitely test out the fullback, Jared Pepper. He's lost it, Jared Pepper. And that man, Jared Odgers DeBono, they're having a tough time, the back three, trying to catch his high spiralling bombs. And the Greyhounds, with just over 2 minutes left, they desperately need a try here. And let's see what they can come up with in this set of 6.
Avondale must have been watching a few of the Bar TV Sports replays of the Windang games over the weekend, because they've every time on the last tackle they've gone to DeBono, and DeBono's put a high spiralling kick, and all three at the back for Windang have had a bit of trouble in taking the ball. As we see Avondale on the attack, 20 metres out from Windang's try line. There's only just under 2 minutes left in this first half, so Avondale, they'll need to score in this set of 6 to pin back the lead that Windang have going into the half-time break. As we see DeBono just standing behind the ruck, marching orders to his forwards on where to go. Windang centre of the paddock, 5 metres out. Fisher looking left to right. Windang just laying over the ruck a little bit. There goes Fisher. Inside ball to his lock forward. Gilmore. Gilmore's crashed over. He's been held up. The referee, Tyrone Jordan, has just signalled that Avondale just held up over the line. But Gilmore will bring it back out a little bit and play the ball. A minute left on the clock, Ruben. If Avondale are going to score, they're going to have to do it in the next few tackles. They're going to have to look to the likes of Roberts and DeBono to try and produce a little bit of magic. Here's big Jay Masuli going forward, just shrugging off the Windang players. He'll look to cross over. He's just pulled up short on the last tackle. Fisher at dummy half. He's got numbers right. He goes left to DeBono. DeBono with a cross kick. And a high-flying Avondale player has just come up with a knock-on. So that was their last chance there, Ruben, to score before half-time. We'll just see both teams. I'll try and wind down this clock now before we go into the half-time break.
Yeah, the Sharks coming up with a very good defensive set of 6 there. The Greyhounds certainly tested them with their attack. 8 seconds left of this first half. The try scorers for Windang have been James Clark and Nathan Galascui getting a try each. And then we hear the halftime siren going off in the background. Windang Sharks lead 10 points to 0 at halftime in the Illawarra Shield Grand Final here at Collegian Sporting Complex. The try scorers for the Sharks are Nathan Galascui and James Clark. Joel Hansen has kicked 1 goal from 2 attempts. And the Avondale Greyhounds, the defending premiers, they've got a lot of work to do And they're up against the minor premiers, Windang Sharks, who have a healthy lead, 10 points to 0 at half time. We'll stand by for the second half here on Bar TV Sports. We'll be back in about 10 minutes' time. Welcome back to the second half of the Illawarra Shield Grand Final here at Collegiate Sporting Complex. It is the Windang Sharks with a 10-0 lead over the Avondale Greyhounds, the defending premiers. And it's a second half which the Greyhounds will have to start off pretty well. They came up with a couple of opportunities down in enemy territory, but couldn't come up good. So the Sharks, they have been the best team throughout this competition all year, with 11 victories and 1 loss during the regular season. As the number 8 brings it back for the Sharks, James Clark. I'm your chief caller, Ruben Campbell. Alongside me is my co-caller, Johnny Pett. And Johnny, what do you think both the coaches would have said at halftime to both teams?
I think Scotty Buckley would have talked to his boys about just continue what they were doing in that first 10 or 15 minutes of the first half. They seemed to drop off midway through the first half, but they played good football again towards the tail end of that second half. They need to complete their sets, get to their kicks, and just turn around the big Avondale forwards. And with Avondale, Daniel Kemp would have spoke to his boys about just being a little bit consistent, be in the battle, and just take them right options. As we've seen, they had chances in that first half, but just seemed to take the wrong options. Ruben, there's 35 minutes left of the season for 2017. It's grand final time, and you leave nothing on the field in a grand final. And grand finals, they don't come around too often for football players. So when you do play grand final football, you need to take them. Speaking from experience, I played in 7, only won 1. So, but it's a good feeling winning that grand final. So one of these sides will lift this trophy here in just under 35 minutes. So we're in for a great clash these last 35 minutes. Avondale, they're not out of it. Last year's premiers, they went into the halftime break down against Western Suburbs. So I'm not writing off Avondale yet, but I think Windang they're a big chance of claiming a title this season.
And geez, Johnny, 1 grand final win from 7 grand finals. Feel sorry for you, mate. How do you sleep at night? Here come the Greyhounds.
Go 3.
The number 9, Fisher, gives it off to the big man, Ryan Chalker. Brad Fisher awaits out of acting half. The Greyhounds down by 10. Need something out of the ordinary as DeBono with a crossfield kick. They kick early once more, but it ends up in the hands of Kevin Spicer. Brother Colin playing at halfback. The Sharks on the attack inside their own 20-metre line. Here they come through the number 15. It's actually number 5, Nathan McKinnon. Nice run there. He gained about 20 metres. He's been good off the wing. Helped out his forwards when need be. As the 16, Jack Hockey, is back on the park for the Sharks. Hodgson out of acting half. Short pass away to the number 8, James Clark, the try scorer. 5 tries in 11 games this season. Pretty good try scoring rate for a front rower. Galaskui. Nice little wraparound play with the number 10, Blake Colgan, who also featured for Warilla last year in Group 7. The fullback, Jared Pepper, awaits out of acting half. Goes to Spicer. Nice high kick in the air. That's a nice kick too. And in fact, it's going to go dead. He just needed the bounce there to go his way, but unfortunately for the Sharks, couldn't avoid that ball going dead, as the Greyhounds will get an extra tackle in this set of 6. Tap and go from Hodgson away to Simmons, the skipper. Here's Ryan Chalker. He's done plenty of hit-ups for a big man. He's definitely plays in an aggressive style. Nice little inside pass from Duncan off to the centre, Adam Blackley. Blackley playing in his 14th game for the season. Good dummy half run there from Ryan Hunson. I thought they were offside there. Brad Fisher did very well with that dummy half run. Avondale Greyhounds with the kick towards touch. Nice tap there from Fisher. Off to Chalker inside the 20. Can the Greyhounds come up with the goods here? They need a try. Roberts, short pass away. to Jack Simmons.
Move together.
Then a strong tackle there from Clark and Colgan, the two big front rowers for the Sharks. Nice inside pass there to Robert. Short ball away. Here comes the big man, Matt Duncan. Can he go over to score? Matt Duncan gets the offload away to the winger. Has he got it down?
Knock on.
James Selesky, no, in fact, he's lost it. They got plenty of numbers there in defence there, the Sharks. They did well to cause a knock-on. And the Sharks, yet again, proving to be too strong in defence as the Greyhounds, yet again, we've seen it time and time again, Johnny, that they get themselves in good field position. They're able to gain the penalties, but I think maybe they could go a bit more direct with their play. What do you think, Johnny?
Yeah, we spoke about earlier about Elwyn Roberts just going to that line and giving his outside backs a bit more space, and that time he did go to the line. You give a nice little short ball to Matt Duncan, and Duncan just trying to cross the line, flicked it out, trying to look for his winger in James Selesky, but it just come up with a drop ball, and Windang there off the hook. Avondale had their chance then to put a bit more pressure at the Windang defence, but just come up with the wrong option again. Avondale, they're going to have to be the team to score early in this first half to apply some pressure back onto Windang, as we see Windang just working it out, approaching the 30-metre line. And a nice cheap 10 metres there from the front rower on the short side, as we see Nikitaris on the left, back to the open. Just creeping towards the 40-metre line, centre of the paddock.
Make it here.
As Hodgson in at dummy
Go
half. And he's kicked inside his 40, looking for the sideline. And it looks like a 40-20 here, Ruben. We'll just get confirmation. And it's a 40-20. As we see referee Tyron Jordan just issuing Windang with the 40-20, and it was a good kick out of dummy half there from Hodgson, Ruben.
What a play there from Ryan Hodgson. They're the sort of players that win you matches, and the sort of players that win you a grand final as well. Blake Colgan, nice strong hit up to start the set of six. Upended there in the tackle from Fisher. Sharks fans appealing for a penalty, but it's play on, and he's lost the ball. The Greyhounds were a bit lucky on that set of six there. They forced a mistake early in the set of six. The Greyhounds have done well on a few occasions to withhold this blistering attack from the Sharks. And the Greyhounds are 10 metres out from their own line. It'll be Odgers to Bono at half-back to feed the scrum for the Greyhounds. Hodgson goes out to Tamanui. Nice little dummy, and he'll meet Blake Colgan in the tackle. In fact, it's the fullback, Jared Pepper. Here goes the centre, Adam Blackley. Here's a nice hit up here from the big 24 Chalker, and it's a penalty. Markers not being square. This is a huge set of six coming up here for the Greyhounds. They need a try. And one way to work up the field of play is to get a penalty. I don't think it's gone out all the way, but what a great touch finder that is. He gained about 40 metres there. Here come the Greyhounds on the attack. They got a mojo. They've got a spring in their step. It's that man, Ryan Chalker. He's been one of the standouts for the Greyhounds this afternoon. How busy has he been with his head-ups? Here's the 13, Luke Gilmore. Had Simmons on his outside, doesn't use him. Brad Fisher, a dummy half, goes to Simmons. He'll take the hit up himself. Here goes Jackson Simmons. Met by Blake Colgan in the tackle. They go to the left this time. It's with the 13, Gilmore. Not much doing there. Doesn't use his men on the outside to his left, but they'll go to the right. You'd sense, and they will. Elwyn Roberts to Bono. Quick pass away. Goes to the number 12, Benjamin Ford. Out the back this time to the winger, Daniel Sheridan. Here goes Daniel Sheridan down the touchline. And he's met just 8 metres out from the Sharks try line. Fifth and last tackle. What do they got up their sleeve? Here's Fisher with a crossfield kick. Hanson's under it, and he is. What a take there from Joel Hanson. The Greyhounds, it was a nice set of six. They really tested out the Sharks' defence there. Bit of razzle-dazzle from Elwyn Roberts and DeBono. But the Sharks managed to hang on. They've had good defence here so far, and they earned themselves a penalty. That was an amazing set of six in defence, you would sense there, Johnny Pett. It wasn't a bad set of six either from the Greyhounds in attack. They threw a lot at them as well. This is shaping up to be a great game of footy here.
That set of six was a bit more like Avondale through this season and previous years. They popped a few questions to the Windang defence. Just couldn't cracked the defence, and on Fisher with a cross kick on the last,
Release again.
looking for one of his outside backs to pluck it out of the sky, but it came in the hands of Joel Hansen. And then on the back end of that,
Release him.
Windang just working it out, and Avondale just giving away a crucial penalty. Windang just approaching the 40-metre line going forward.
8 hands away
They're making some
now.
good metres in this set of 6.
Hold out, hold.
Windang,
Go 3.
they're gone the open to Nikitaris. Nikitaris, he's just brought over the halfway line. Good metres from Nikitaris. And Nikitaris with a bit of a loose carry there, Ruben. So Avondale,
it's
they'll
loose
come back
carry.
up with the ball. They'll
Loose
get
carry.
the scrum feed just inside their territory. Still 25 minutes left on the clock in this grand final between the Windang Sharks, they were the minor premiers, and the Avondale Greyhounds, who last week beat Western Suburbs in extra time through an Elwyn Roberts field goal.
Yeah, mate.
So as we were speaking about before, Ruben, we really like to see Avondale play a little bit more direct at the line. It's going to start with Elwyn Roberts and DeBono trying to look for their centres and their second rowers just to play a little bit more direct, put them in some holes. As we see Sheridan brought down on the halfway line. Closer sideline, Fisher at dummy half, on to Simmons, who'll push forward. He's had good leg drive, Simmons. And Simmons just achieving his side a penalty. Windang stripping the ball in the ruck. So Avondale will kick for touch. You see one of the Windang players just down the ground injured. Referee Tyron Jordan just calling time. And it looks like Gallistegui just getting back to his feet into the defensive line. So DeBono's kick for touch. He's put it out 30 metres out from the Windang line. So it's been a bit more Avondale on the attack in the last few sets. As we see Thompson go forward, just shrugging her off a few of the Windang defence, trying to get that big arm free
And
and
release.
pop a ball out, but he's brought
Hold out,
down
hold.
25 metres out, centre of the paddock. Fisher at dummy
Go
half. Fisher will go to his back rower in forward, and a good tackle from Buckley around the legs of forward. Fisher go to the left. There's Roberts. And
back,
Roberts just
back.
with a bit of a wayward pass. And Joel Hansen's come up with the ball for Windang. So Avondale, that last play execution, Ruben, just costing them dearly again in the second half.
Yeah, what about that man, Joel Hansen, the goal kicker for Windang Sharks? He's been great today. Diving on the ball there with desperation. Showing a lot of spirit and desire for his side. He wants the grand final triumph.
Go 3.
Their first since 2008. They're the sort of players that win your matches, especially
Move together.
on a grand final day.
Hold out. Go 4.
Turn into a real tough, grinding game of football here as the number 8, James Clark, takes it up to the halfway line. Hodson out of dummy half, goes to Gallistegui, kicks it down the field with his left foot, and it's the number 5, James Soleski, who will bring it back towards the 20. Spicer at dummy half, gives it off to Tamanui. Here goes Craig Tamanui, and Gallistegui did well to grab him by the ankles there. He was away. Fisher out to the big man. Here goes Thompson. What a run there from the number 20. It's actually Masuli. Jay Masuli with a nice run there. Here's Ellen Roberts. Nice dummy half run. They're gaining plenty of easy metres through the ruck here.
Go 4.
Fisher goes to that man Masuli. Here goes Masuli. He's tough to stop, the big man. Brandon Masuli. 2 great runs there. 5th and last tackle. They've got to go wide here. Here's DeBono. Will they go for the hands? He puts a little crossfield kick over to where the winger is for Windang. And it's the number 5, Nathan McKinnon, with the ball. Well, I think they should have probably gone for the hands there. The Greyhounds. They had about 5 on 3. And I think the Sharks would be pretty happy with that option from DeBono with the crossfield kick. But Johnny, I'm really surprised that they didn't go for the hands there. DeBono did well to take it up to the line of the defence, but he had 4 men on his outside, and there was only 2 defenders there for the Sharks.
He had a lot of options there, DeBono. He had a lot of time on his hands then. I think he was in a bit of 2 minds there, whether to kick or go to the line and put it through the hands. And in the end, he's probably taken the wrong option and put a cross kick over looking for his winger. But through the hands, they might have been more of an option to score a try there. But it's easy to say it up here, Ruben, and they're on the field. They've got to make the split decisions on the paddock. They've let Windang off the hook again, so Windang will bring it out of their own area through Nikitaris over the 20-metre line. And there's still 20 minutes left, Ruben. The clock is ticking down. It has been a lot of football down in the Windang end of the field so far, and we see a nice clearing kick from Windang. And Tamanui's going to bring it back from his own goal line, and a good kick chase from Windang. But Tamanui's gone through him. He's in a bit of open space. He's tried to put a step on Ryan Hodgson.
No, off the ball now!
And he's just clipped his own ankles there, Tamanui. I'd like to see Tamanui in a bit of open space today, Ruben.
Yeah, he's quite a quick and dynamic fullback. He's been good so far in this game. He's helped out his forwards with nice little dummy half runs and been heavily involved in attacking situations. As the 23 has lost the football there for the Greyhounds, Matthew Thompson. And the Sharks, well, if they score a try here, you'd sense that it's going to be pretty hard for the Greyhounds to come back in this clash. The Greyhounds have been in good field position, but unfortunately haven't been able to come away with a couple of tries. The Sharks have been very good in defence. They've had a good defensive structure, had plenty of numbers to the tackles. They've managed to force the Greyhound side to go side to side with the football. Here's the number 3 with the football. It's Adam Blakely and a high tackle from the fullback, Jared Pepper. And here come the Greyhounds on the attack. Elwyn Roberts with the kick to touch. They're about 36 metres out from the Sharks try line. The Sharks have done a lot of defensive work in the second half. They've done well to keep the opposition to nil. And it's the big man, Chalker, with a hit up, and it ends up in the hands of Tamanui. Fisher out of acting half. Goes to DeBono out the back to Gilmore, gets it away. This time in the hands of Benjamin Ford. Benjamin Ford can't get the pass away to David Sheridan on that western touchline. It's with the 23, Matthew Thompson. 25 metres out.
On 3, 16, you're not
Here's
there.
Gilmore. Here's Luke Gilmore. Nice run towards the middle of the park. Goes to Fisher out of acting half. Here's Elwyn Roberts, short ball away to the 20. The big man, Matthew Duncan, gets the ball out the back to Elwyn Roberts. Elwyn Roberts changes the play. Not much doing there. He's going backwards here, Elwyn Roberts. He's got to start going forwards. And he's ended up being tackled there from Nathan Perks, who's come onto the park for the Sharks. Fisher. DeBono puts a little grubber kick in for himself. The fullback, Jared Pepper's got some work to do, and he's up for the task. Kicking early once more, the Greyhounds. Hasn't worked on previous occasions, and the Greyhounds probably needed to play out that set of 6 to get to their last tackle in order to come up with a repeat set of 6 or maybe even a try, but it wasn't meant to be on that set of 6. 18 minutes left. Blake Colgan inside his own 20-metre zone.
Go 3.
Joel Hansen out of acting half. He's featured in all 14 games, including this one for the Sharks this season. But a try-scoring freak, but he can't kick a goal from anywhere. This is Colin Spicer with a kick. Once again, both teams kicking early in their sets of 6, utilising the swirling breeze, testing out the back three for both teams. And here's a much-needed penalty for the Greyhounds. Craig Tamanui with possession of the ball, and it was a high tackle. And Johnny, I've been surprised with some of the sets of 6 the Greyhounds have had inside the Sharks 20 kicking early. And I sense that with their next attacking play inside the Windang territory that they probably need to play out all their tackles. And maybe it wouldn't hurt if they can come up with a repeat set of 6. I know they need to try, but they need to come up with some sort of pressure and try and crack this Sharks defensive line.
The Windang Sharks are just giving Avondale a bit of a sniff. They keep either turning over the ball, Windang, or they keep giving Avondale another chance. But Avondale just can't seem to take that last execution play or take advantage of the chances that Windang are presenting them, as we see Avondale just cough up the ball again inside Windang's territory. And we see most of this half has been played in Windang's area. We have a strong breeze favouring Wingdangs, so the option there for that early kick we've seen from Windang resulted in a 40-20 earlier.
In now. go, ball in.
As we see Galistegi feed the scrum, Hansen, he'll just bring it one off the scrum, beat the first defender, and Hansen's wrapped up over the 40-metre line. Galistegi in at dummy half.
Go 1.
He'll go right to Spicer. Spicer will go back inside to his back rower in Hockey.
17 away.
So Hockey over the halfway line.
Go 2.
There's Nikitaris on the left. Nikitaris has been strong since coming onto the paddock. So Nikitaris, 30 metres out from the Avondale line. And Avondale's Luke Gilmore just giving away a penalty for laying all over Nikitaris in the ruck. And Windang, they'll just take their time. Clark, a hit up on the left. Clark's brought down centre of the paddock, 20 metres out. Hodgson with options left to right. He's gone left. Nice quick play the ball.
2.
Windang right, there's Clark again. Clark's brought down 6 metres out from the try line. Hodgson at dummy half.
3.
Switch play Galistegi. Galistegi onto Spicer. Spicer just a little dancing line. He's brought down by the Avondale defence. Jared Pepper at dummy half. Onto the back row of Hockey. Hockey just dummy at the line and go himself. Wrapped up on the last tackle, 4 metres out.
Hold the line.
Hodgson at dummy half. He's gone left. Spicer. Spicer onto the boot. And it's just going to run dead.
Goal line.
And the Avondale player has just knocked it over the dead ball line, Ruben. So they'll drop out back to Windang. So in the end, a nice little kick there from Spicer, resulting in a dropout for Avondale. And Ruben, Windang with another chance of an attacking set at the Avondale line.
Yeah, so Windang Sharks certainly have got control of this game in the palm of their hand. Avondale with another dropout. Bit of a shallow one, just shy of the 30-metre line. And it ends up in the hands of the number 18, Nicholas Nikitaris. Nikitaris approaches the 20-metre line in style. Dane Coran is on the park playing at dummy half.
23 up
They go through the 15, Matthew Chirac. They'll continue to go to the right this time. The number 8, James Clark. Here goes James Clark. Can he get a double? You don't often see a front rower score a double in a grand final. Coran out of acting half. Goes out the back to Galascu. Cut out ball. Out to the centre. Here's the number 3, Daniel Tuff. Daniel Tuff's gone over the score. What a try there for the Wingday Sharks. Started with Coran at dummy half. Galascu with a nice floating cutout ball to Daniel Tuff, who scores his 15th try of the season. And the Windang Sharks with a commanding 14 points to 0 lead over the defending premiers, the Avondale Greyhounds. The Sharks are certainly in control of the match. Daniel Tuff, what a try that is. Did well to get over the try line there. The Greyhounds defence were coming in numbers towards that eastern touchline, but he muscled his way over with a nice high dive towards the corner post. Just managed to stay in the field of play.
In the corner,
and the Sharks are up 14 points to 0 with a kick to come through the centre, Joel Hansen. And what about that try from the Sharks? Galascu, what a day he's having with a try of his own. Nice cutout ball. And with just under 13 minutes left, this lead is getting away from the Avondale Greyhounds. What a game the Sharks are having. And what are your thoughts on this attempt here for Joel Hansen, Johnny Pett? Because if he kicks this, it's going to be pretty tough for the Greyhounds to come back on a wet sail, you'd sense. As Hansen is just 22 metres out. Just a metre from the touchline with his conversion attempt. What a try there to Daniel Tuff.
He still had a bit of work to do there, Daniel Tuff, after receiving that ball from Galistegi. It was a nice ball from Galistegi. But I've got to give a huge rap to the front rower, James Clark. He was enormous in that set. He took that big bustling run straight through the middle. He got a quick play the ball, which laid the foundation for that backline moves, resulting in a tough try. But Joel Hansen puts that one over the black dot to add another 2 points to his season tally. Another 2 to Windang, 16 points to 0. Windang over Avondale. Just under 12 minutes remaining in this match. It seems to me that Windang have got a bit more than one hand on that trophy with 10 minutes to go. Looks a few smiles down at the Windang bench. Scotty Buckley's side sniffing a grand final victory. And Avondale, they've just got their heads down a little bit round their bench line, but there's still 10 minutes to go, Ruben. Anything can happen in rugby league, and anything can happen in a grand final match, as we've seen over the years in the Illawarra League.
That's certainly right, Johnny. Pat DeBono with the kick-off. We were set for an exciting 11 minutes here as James Clark brings it back for the Sharks. Finishing first on the ladder in the regular season. They only had the one loss this year. Had some big victories. Achieved the half-century of points a couple of times during the year. Karan with the short ball away to Nikitaris. Ryan Hodson is off the field. His brother Dean and his brother Bevan suffered a unfortunate injury in the first half. But the Sharks still have plenty of energy as they go with the centre, Joel Hansen. As the number 3, Adam Blakely there. Touch judge has got his flag up. And he might be in a bit of trouble here, Adam Blakely. We'll wait to what the referee, Tyron Jordan, has got to say. He might be cautioned here, maybe on report. And let's see what happens to the Greyhound centre.
Okay, Adam, just keep the rubbish out. Listen, okay, let's just keep the rubbish out and play football, okay? Penalties, yeah, just keep the rubbish out of it.
And he's just been cautioned by the referee, Tyron Jordan, so the Sharks up 16 points to 0. Here's a big barnstorming run there from James Clark. Just shy of the 20-metre line. Karan out of acting half. Goes to Nikitaris. Nice strong run up the middle of the park. The Greyhounds need to show plenty of desperation and desire in their defence here. Don't want this lead to get further away from them. One more try here for the Sharks. Might be all she wrote. Karan. Spicer. Goes out the back to Galascu. Goes to the fullback, Pepper. Goes out to the centre. Now to the winger, Nathan McKinnon. Like clockwork there for the Sharks. Just a simple draw and pass. Daniel Tuff, who scored the previous try on that eastern touchline, gives it to his winger partner, Nathan McKinnon, to score a try. That's his 6th try for the season. As the Sharks extend their lead to 20 points to 0 with under 10 minutes left of this second half. What a game the Windang Sharks have had. They've shown some passion in their defence, great line speed, and in attack they've had a few good dummy half runs. And what an afternoon it's been for this team. The Sharks looking to claim their first Illawarra Shield since 2008. It's been 9 years. Been a bit of time between the drinks as the centre, Joel Hansen, looks to land another sideline conversion. It was a nice draw and pass there as Joel Hansen looking to slot his 60th goal for the season. And the Greyhounds, they look a bit disappointed here, the defending premiers. They were really up for the battle. They were right in this game. Couldn't really capitalise on their opportunities when they were in enemy territory. As Joel Hansen looking to slot his third conversion for this afternoon. 22 metres out, 1 metre from touch. Here he goes. Lines up the conversion attempt and just misses it to the right. The Sharks lead 20 points to 0 with 8 minutes left here, Johnny. What an afternoon they've had, the Sharks. And I think it's probably fair that they come out with the Illawarra Shield this year, considering how well they played during the regular season. They're a side that once they get the lead, they really have control of the game through the palm of their hand. And what an afternoon they've had, Johnny.
They've had a great day. They've had a great season. And I spoke earlier about over previous years they've been a little bit ill-disciplined, Windang. But this season they've mixed it up. They've been more disciplined in attack and in defence, and it resulted in a great season in them with the minor premiership of the Shield. And they are staring down the barrel with under 8 minutes remaining of a grand final victory. 20 points in front of Avondale. And I think there's going to be one hell of a party at the Hamptons Hotel down there at Windang tonight. And I think it will go in for the next few days. Coach Scott Buckley, I just looked down at their bench and he had a nice little dance there on the sideline when Nathan McKinnon went in for a try. As we see Avondale on the attack inside Windang territory. Masuli just going forward with that big left-hand palm. And Avondale, they were last year's premiers. They tasted victory in season 2016. We'll see another name scribed into the Hardware Man Illawarra Shield in 6.5 minutes. Windang, they went back-to-back in season 07 and 08. They beat North in season 07. They beat Mount Kembla in 08. As we see Avondale with a fresh set of 6, a few metres out from the Windang line. Roberts out of dummy half. He'll just go himself, but he's swamped by the Windang defence. Masuli, don't think he was expecting it. Not a bad option, only a few metres out to go to the big fella. But he's wrapped up by the Windang defence. Windang onto the short side. They've gone right, looking for their winger. And Windang's winger just, Avondale winger's just held up in great desperation defence from Windang. And Ruben, Windang, they're leading 20 points to nil, 5.5 minutes to go. In a bit of desperation defence, they've shuffled across and have held up the Avondale winger. So they're not giving up. They know this game isn't over. They're going to play this right the way to the death, even though they are 20 points in front. And that's a sign of a great team effort, Ruben.
Oh, that's right. Trying to keep a clean sheet here. Here come the Greyhounds. Out of dummy half is David Sheridan, getting himself close to the try line. It's a last tackle. Geez, he's only a couple of centimetres towards the try line there. Awfully close. Here come the Greyhounds. This is Gilmore towards the try line. Has he got it down? No, he's just held short. Terrific defence from the Windang Sharks with over 5 minutes left. They're on the cusp of achieving another premiership in the Illawarra Shield. Their last one was back in 2008. It's going to be a big party tonight for these boys. They've worked hard all year. Just only one loss this season. And what an afternoon they've had. And this man, the number 4, Joel Hanson, what a game he's had. Been one of the standouts for this Sharks team. Korean out of acting half. Gives it off to Colgan. Korean gives it away. They're approaching the 30-metre line and it's a forward pass. So the Greyhounds get another opportunity to break their own personal deadlock without scoring a try this afternoon. They would have been disappointed considering the effort and the passion they showed to overcome that 12-point deficit last week against West and winning the game in Golden Point, 29-28.
Second nose in, locks down.
As the Avondale Greyhounds look to finish the game off on a high note. Elwyn Roberts with a football. Cut out ball away to Blackley. Here's Blackley, gets the ball away to Sulawski and he's taken over the sideline by Kevin Spicer. And that's just been the story for their afternoon. The Greyhounds, they managed to force mistakes, get repeat set of 6, but they haven't been able to execute when they needed the most. And the Sharks, with just over 3 minutes left, looking to wind down the clock and finish off this game once for all. Simmons is back onto the park, the skipper, looking to maybe provide a little captain's knock towards the end of the game. The Windang coaches, Scott Buckley and Scott Morris, have done an impeccable job with this Windang side this year. Brought a couple of players at the start of the year, injected them nicely into the squad. Just kept it nice and simple. They do show a lot of creativity and innovation in their attack when they need it the most. And the Sharks work it forward with Blake Colgan. Korean out of acting half. Just shy of the 50-metre line. Galascu kicks early off the outside of the boot and he'll find touch 33 metres out from his own try line. I think the big question here is who do you reckon will get man of the match today, Johnny?
I think Joel Hanson's been one of Windang's best, not just today but through the season. He's been the leading point scorer for the Hardware Man Shield competition. But a huge rap to their front rower, James Clark. He's been enormous up front. He's made a lot of metres up through the middle, and he's been very busy in defence. Nathan Galaskegi, he's been enormous. He's been creative, providing good ball to his outside backs. He's laid on a couple of tries, scored one himself. As we see Avondale bringing it out of their own area. There's Roberts in at dummy half. Onto their fullback, Tamanui. Over the halfway line. Windang still desperation defence. They want to keep a clean sheet in this grand final. As we see a couple of the interchange players from Windang onto the field now to taste a bit of grand final football, and the Windang bench up on their feet. They know they've got this grand final won. As we see a little bit of a scuffle on the field. I suppose a little bit of frustration, Ruben, from Avondale, knowing that they're going to run second in season 2017. And Ruben, who's your pick for the man of the match?
Well, I think I have to agree with you with Joel Hansen. He's been outstanding today. He's done a lot of work in attack. He's helped out his forwards when they needed it the most. Done some pretty impressive defensive work as well. Managed to pounce on a couple of loose balls. And he's been outstanding today. And here's a big hit there from Simmons on the 25. Daniel Sinclair, who's come onto the park. 42 seconds left. Windang are not far away from having a big night. The party will probably go for about between 24 to 72 hours. And what a game they've had. What a season it's been for this side. The Windang Sharks. You've got to give credit to Avondale, though. At third position, they came up with a couple of tough victories in the finals to get themselves here. And they've done really, really well. And as the number 7 Spicer puts a crossfield kick over to where the 15 is. And that's Chirac. No, it's not Chirac, it's Josh Ford. 1 second left. The siren's about to go. Here's Tamanui. And he'll be wrapped up with a ball. That's full time. The siren's gone in the background. The Windang Sharks are the Illawarra Shield premiers for 2017. They win 20 points to 0 over the Avondale Greyhounds. The try scorers are Nathan McKinnon, Daniel Tuff, Nathan Galaskui, and James Clark. Two goals for Joel Hansen. What a game for the Windang Sharks. They round out the victors 20 points to 0. And stick around here on Bar TV Sports. We have more preliminary finals coming with you. The under-18s are up next. I've had the pleasure of calling this game with Johnny Pett. I'm Ruben Campbell. And that's bye for now here at Bar TV Sports. Stick around for other clashes here at Collegiate Sporting Complex.